Alright, hi everyone. I wanted to run down a few different things on the project. Again, thank you for helping me out with this categorization stuff. So, what you're looking at right in front of your screen here, and yep, this is on the correct screen, is what your output is going to look like. Only thing here is that I've already classified everything, so it already belongs in the correct category. But for here, you'll probably see, or you will see NA. So just filter by NA, that way you don't see emails you've already categorized. So at the top, you just hit that and filter there. So this is kind of the output you're looking at. How do we get this output? Okay, so how this works is that you're going to go into Outlook, and you're going to sign into your email account. And this doesn't matter what email it is. It can be from anything. Once you sign in, it will download a set of your emails. What we're going to do is we're going to go through some settings. I won't go into this just because we'll do it when we meet. But basically, you set it up to where it's going to only download 2 years worth of emails. Reason I do that is because I don't want you having to categorize tons and tons and tons and tons of emails, though you are going to be doing a good chunk of them. We'll be doing the ones for just the past 2 years. And then the additional reason for that is Outlook actually breaks after it uses 2 gigs of memory because Outlook is a terrible application. So that's the other constraint there. So that's why we're sticking to 2 years. So I'll just export the past 2 years. We're going to run a program that I wrote in Python that rips these email files out of Outlook and transforms them into this table that you see here in Excel. And so I will provide the code for that. I will also show in the description of the email a couple things you can do to get this set up a little quicker so that we're not meeting for a very long time, which would be including or downloading Anaconda on your system. So we would just do that, get it set up, and then we can run a program like Spider, something like that, one of the GUI interfaces, and yeah, then get the export. So once you're stuck with this wonderful output of your emails, what do you do? Okay, so you're going to be classifying into different categories based on certain things. So we'll take a look at those right over here. And I'll have this handy dandy key for you as well if you forget anything. I'll briefly go over what each of these are and some stipulations on where you might want to categorize things differently. So for ham, this is real people. You're one of the direct recipients of an email. You're part of an email conversation. So think of like your grandma sends you an email. Someone's actually going to send. Here, we'll take a look at some of my primary emails. So this one's from my, I'll zoom in a little bit. So lease update. So this is from one of my, or I guess from my landlady, I should say. So I was emailing with her. Here I'm emailing with my grandfather. So, like, obviously, they're real human beings. You're in direct communication with them. So that is that's how that works. Secondary mail. Now, secondary mail, this is going to be like notices from your bank, from Spotify. And why I say Spotify here, I mean like login activity. Because you're going to get notices from both your bank and Spotify that are not in secondary, and that would be promotional, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But, so what constitutes as secondary mail? So sign-in activity, mass mailings from work, school, things you've signed up for that are like mass mailings, give you updates on certain stuff that you wanted to be involved in. Updates on shipping, tracking, your orders, any automated replies, updates from your institution, whatever it may be. Those are typically secondary mail items that you would be putting in here. And we'll take a quick look at some of my secondary items that we have. So this right here, this is a workshop that I signed up for. This here is a newsletter, another newsletter from my leasing agent. So a lot of newsletters actually. This is my insurance statement. So you kind of get an idea. Here's a mass mailing where I'm not a direct recipient or part of an email conversation. So those are all kind of things that constitute as secondary mail. Getting on to 3, promotional. This is like updates from Facebook, LinkedIn, Strava, campaigns, political campaigns. I put political campaigns in here with social. So any social media update that you're getting, or political campaign update, is going to belong in the 3 category. We'll take a look at my 3 category here. And so I have an update, a lot of updates from Strava, Stacked Overflow. They're just letting me know I have messages in my inbox. And just stuff like that. And, you know, typically anything that relates to that Reddit mail, anything of that nature, that's all social media giving you a notice about basically what social is. Any social media platform that's giving you notice of the activity on their platform. That's social. Promotional. Now, promotional is anything that's a coupon, deals with promoting the business or service, deals, stuff like that. So it's not just as clear as, here's a 50% coupon for blah, 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 or like, come to our store for our winter sale. That is obviously promotional. The thing that makes it a little bit more vague and that separates it from secondary mail and puts it in promotional mail, when I'm talking about notices of activity or things that you've signed up for that are like mailing to give you an activity about a service. Promotional is when it's actively promoting you dealing with that business or service. So it's trying to get you to log on to the app. It's trying to get you to go to the store, or whatever it is. It's trying to get you to go to do the thing. If it's actively working towards getting you to do the thing, whatever it is, use the app, go to the store, buy some stuff, that's promotional. So if you're kind of unsure between, it's kind of vague, not really sure if it's promotional, but it feels promotional, it's going to be promotional. And then finally, 5 is spam. This is unsolicited mail, phishing, malware, scams. You know, think of those terribly written emails. That is all going to be spam related items, and that's going to belong into this 5th category for classification. I don't actually have any spam on this email account because it gets deleted, so it'd be wonderful if you guys have some spam for me to categorize. That would be awesome. Now, the second tip that I have, and this is just kind of give you an idea of how this whole process is going to work, because yes, it would take a very long time for you to go look at the title, go, okay, this belongs in 2, look at the title, did it look categorize? You might look at the title, maybe you don't know exactly what it is, you read the body a little bit, okay, this goes in this. So I set up an email frequency column here, and don't sort by this. Just filter. The reason I say don't sort is because Excel is really weird about sorting. It'll mess up the equations I have set up for this in the classification tab. So just filter. So we'll go for the number 1 notice. That's New York Times. This is eBay. We'll do eBay actually. So like for eBay, for example. This is the email address. I'm looking here. I can see promotional, 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 promotional. Right. And you're looking through here and you're starting to see this has you written all over it. Start looking and discover something new. And it's basically trying to get me to buy something. Like, clearly, this is promotional mail. I don't want to, like, this all belongs in 4. And give it a quick look to make sure that there isn't anything in here that wouldn't be a secondary mail item, because sometimes they are split. But for the vast majority of organizations, their promotional email is going to be separate from their business dealings email. So like you can see here, ebay@reply.ebay.com. You know, the actual eBay address might be like ebay at something something. Here, we'll actually search eBay just to kind of give you an idea of what that is. So there's actually a lot of different eBay types. So if we look at ebay@replyebay.com, this is going to be like all the deals, right? But for everything that's going to belong in secondary, you know, things that are actually about your account that they want you to see, they have a different email address, ebay@ebay.com. And that belongs in 2. Typically, this is how organizations split this, and you'll notice this as you're categorizing things. Sometimes it isn't that way. So the reason that helps us a lot is because right over here, and I'll filter for this, but you would just paste it in, we have ebay@replyebay.com. And guess what? You throw it in the email thing, you put 4, and it's going to populate everything on this side. So let's go back over to ebay@replyebay.com. We know these are all promotional, and we can clearly see right here, this is a 4 in the classification. This means promotional. But let's say we're going to change that. How does that look when you populate it? We'll make it 3, right? All of them are 3. Woo! So they're all classified. Very easy. This is going to help you out a lot with some of these that they just send you tons and tons of emails. So yeah, that is how that is going to work. And yeah. So what I recommend is you filter by email frequency, and you start from the largest and go down the list to the smallest. And as you go through these and as you paste in the email for those, and you put them over here and you put the number in and it populates on the main table, you'll start to slowly get to emails that are less and less frequent. And I'd say around 20 or 15, definitely like 10 or so, anywhere in that range. When you start to get closer to the single digits, it's probably just easier. We'll do like 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be a lot easier rather than taking the message, pasting it in the lookup table, and having it populate, to just look at the title. If you're not sure, look at the body and then put the number in. And then just do that for the rest. Now I have, for this email account, 7,388 emails. And this took me about a little over 3 hours. So if you have less emails than this, it'll probably take you a good bit less. Most of it will go by pretty quick. I'd say probably half of your emails will be pretty fast, just because most of them belong in those huge buckets, right? So you'll probably have about half of your emails that have over 100. When you quickly categorize them, that will get all of that sorted out. So that is how the project's going to work. But yeah, if you have any other questions, we can talk about it when we meet. But this is just kind of the brief summary of how this is going to work. And yeah, again, thank you for your time. Oh, one last thing that I did not mention. So basically, just use whatever email you're comfortable handing over to me, I guess. The sheet here, I won't keep it and I won't go through it, obviously. But it is for my different models, and some of them don't actually use it as vectorized data, which basically means like number data, like 0, 1, 0, all that stuff. So basically need the original data set for those different models. And obviously when you put all the tables together into like one big data frame. I mean, just think of like one big Excel sheet for those. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, I won't be going through it or anything, but yeah. Again, thanks for your help, and I will talk to you later.